Coming up later this hour, I'll get you into the Offspring at Yamava. And we got more tickets for you to join us on 420 with the Dirty Heads. But right now, we have a couple that we're about to meet, and they're on the phone. They have been together for, let me see here, over 10 years, Allie, and they are fighting about something that seems petty, but as you know, in any relationship, things that start petty can erode away at the very foundation until one of you starts cheating or you start straying, and then the relationship crumbles and burns, and that's why we have the petty claims court, to figure out who's right, who's wrong. Scorekeeping is the most important part of any relationship.
Well, I was just reading about Gypsy Rose, that woman that ended up killing her mom.
Yes.
She broke up with her fiance recently, very high-profile marriage, because of his food habits, because he was a food hoarder, and he would have the fridge unorganized, and he would buy in bulk, and he wouldn't have a good storage system, and she said it broke their relationship. A very high-profile petty claims court, in my opinion.
There have been a lot of big high-profile breakups recently. That old man bachelor, the golden bachelor, found that woman. They got married 3 months later, called it quits. Now, that could have been something more than petty, but usually all the good stuff starts petty, and that's why we created the petty claims court.
In the legal system, cases are tried from Supreme Courts to small claims court. But what about stuff that's too small for small claims court? This is petty claims court.
Okay, let's say hi to Lily. I think she's bringing her husband to trial. Hey, Lily, welcome to KROQ this morning. How goes it?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for being on with us, and thanks for turning to the petty claims court. We've tried probably close to 50 cases at this point, and I don't know how many of those relationships are better as a result of it, but it's always a social experiment in progress. And what is the issue you have with your husband, Brian?
Okay, so the issue I have with him is that he'll usually wake up every night for a little midnight snack, and after I've already cleaned the kitchen and have gone to sleep and everything, and then it's usually a bowl of Frosted Flakes that he crunches up.
Great choice.
And then, yeah, I guess.
All right, we rule in favor of Brian. This case is closed.
No. I think I'm already on Lily's side.
Hold on. So what? So he leaves the bed in the middle of the night, makes himself a bowl of cereal.
Yes, and then he crunches it up and pours milk on it, but he's doesn't turn on the lights or something, so it just makes a huge mess everywhere.
And
when I wake up, when I wake up, I have to clean it up. He doesn't clean it up.
Is it just crumbs, or is it the full-on box of cereal out? The bowl is out with the milk left in it. What's the mess factor?
So it's the crumbs and then the bag of cereal, the box of cereal with the bag open. And then he is nice enough to put his bowl back in the sink for me to wash in the morning.
For me to wash in the morning.
Who said chivalry's dead, Allie?
Dude, this is exactly what happens in my house every single night, because I'm not a midnight snacker, but Katie is, and she is. Oh, Jesus. And she leaves remnants everywhere.
It's super annoying, right?
It is super annoying.
You finally feel because I know there are those people that feel like the last thing I want to do before bed is make sure that kitchen is clean. So when I get there in the morning, it's whoa, clean kitchen. What a way to start the day.
You're resetting. Yes.
Exactly.
Every night we are putting a disastrous house back together again.
Yeah,
Once that process is complete, you can't screw it up.
And then someone doesn't play by the rules, and they go, oh, you think it's so clean? Well, I'll show you.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's let her husband defend himself.
Maybe you're not turning on the lights. Maybe you're half asleep.
Hold on. Hey, Brian, you just heard what you've been accused of from your wife, Lily. Do you agree or disagree with the claims?
Well, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not guilty.
It's a good defense.
Seems like there's lots of evidence, so that's a good approach.
It's a good defense right there. Go ahead, but continue your statement.
But I am responsible or my midnight bowl of cereal has to be a particular way when I get up to eat it. I'm weird, and I like to crush up the Frosted Flakes before I pour the cereal in. Before I pour in the milk.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, because I'm pretty stoned when I'm doing this, I leave a mess behind.
Yeah, okay. Once again, I rule in favor.
What a beautiful defense.
Rule in favor of Brian. I think everything you said makes sense.
You crunch it. How do you crunch it up? Do you just put it in the bowl and then crunch it with your fist?
So I pour a bowl of Frosted Flakes, and then I get a smaller cup, and I smash it into crumbs. And then I pour just enough cereal milk to wet it, but not make it soggy.
Yeah, smart.
So when I'm sitting there stoned and I forget about it, I remember, I still have cereal. And so then I continue eating it. But unfortunately, when I'm in the kitchen making it, it's a process.
Yeah, it sounds
Of
like
course.
it.
It seems like a
I'm
very
like
messy.
a chef, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I know.
The chef doesn't clean up after himself.
No, chefs leave a clean
Well-
kitchen. And also, do you do this with every cereal, or is it just Frosted Flakes?
Also, you're not a
So
chef.
I am guilty of doing it with other snacks as well.
Other snacks that aren't cereal?
You crush up everything?
Yeah.
You missing teeth or something? What's going on?
No.
Are you in a
I am
home?
guilty of eating in the middle of the night. So, like, I've woken up with fruit stickers on the back of my head.
What?
I love this
Fruit
guy.
stickers?
All right,
If
so
only I'd crushed this up into little pieces.
I do remember a classic Julia Child where she did explain the recipe of how to crush up Frosted Flakes. And
Really?
all the great chefs do it, Allie. So this guy is a chef. Don't say he's not. He's got his formula. He likes to crush cereal up and eat it.
He doesn't
Now,
want to waste time chewing.
the first thought would be, couldn't you pre-crush all of your cereals, like people do meal prep? Couldn't you run over the box of cereal with your car a few times early in the week and then everything's pre-crushed so you can eliminate the middle of the night snack mess?
The kids might have a complaint about that. So that's not a bad idea, though. I might have to buy my own box of cereal so that we can run it over on the way home.
Yeah, you have a regular box and a crush box. But I think the main thing is that you're not cleaning up after yourself. So it's just that you're walking away and then do you not turn the lights on? Because Lily thinks maybe you're not turning the lights on, you're doing all this in the dark.
Yeah, so I am guilty of not turning on the lights sometimes.
Yeah, because I
Use the
understand.
refrigerator light. The refrigerator light. That's what
That's
it's for,
enough.
isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you.
And you're kind of in this weird place where, what is it? So you go to, I just want to get a sense of your nighttime routine. You eat dinner or whatever, you get ready for bed, you get high, obviously. Then you go to bed, fall asleep, wake up hungry, or you lay in bed, relax, watch TV, and then before you about to go to sleep, you get up and get the bowl of cereal.
So I'm a really light sleeper, so I go to bed really stoned every night.
Smart.
And my stomach has a mind of its own and decides that it's time to wake up around 12 or 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so we hit the kitchen, and unfortunately the kitchen's been cleaned already.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
If only it was a mess. It wouldn't matter.
Listen, 818 says it best. After he's done eating, he should wake her up to re-clean the kitchen.
Yeah, hey, the kitchen's a mess.
That
Get up.
makes-
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure, Omar, go ahead.
Do both of you guys have full-time jobs?
No.
Who's the
Only
major
that.
breadwinner?
Do either of you have full-time jobs?
No. I do have a full-time job, and she is a full-time mom.
Okay.
Taking the care. Okay.
So she takes
Because
that-
I think
she
that makes a
takes-
difference.
She takes her job seriously, which is cleaning the kitchen. But you also go, hey, I work, I support this family. If I want to eat crushed up Frosted Flakes at 1 a.m. and make a mess. Now, you don't intend to make the mess. You don't realize the mess you make, but clearly it's bothering her in the morning, right?
No, so sometimes I'll wake up before her in the morning, and I'll find my mess, and I'll scramble to clean it up before.
I know that move.
You scoop the rest of those crumbs and put them in your,
And
mouth.
I bet no matter how clean you think you made it, she still realizes there's evidence of what you did, doesn't she?
Always.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Katie will try and clean up some of the counter mess, and she won't realize that she's dropped a bunch of stuff on the floor, too, that she didn't notice. But the thing is, it's mutual respect. When a kitchen or any area has been cleaned, it's at least for a little considerable amount of time, you're trying to keep it that way. Right? And for Lily, it's like she just cleaned the kitchen, and it seems like there's no respect on the fact that it just was clean.
Tough one. I know. The jury will decide in a moment. The first 100 texts will determine who wins and who loses, jury of your peers. But I just want to say, Lily, I understand why you married this man, Brian. I like.
He's so happy-go-lucky. I love Brian.
I like everything about Brian, but I can understand once again because I've been accused of this as well. And the man likes to crush his cereal. I mean, there's a whole side conversation just about his whole method of eating cereal middle of the night.
And it seems like it took him a while to really find a system that worked for him.
But he puts away the milk in the fridge, and he puts the bowl in the sink, and he does.
What a hero!
There are efforts. There are efforts that are made.
And there's no vibe of him going out, being a dick about it. It's just like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm stoned.
714 said, Brian's great.
Oh.
I love that.
Well, the other thing is I can understand not wanting to turn the lights on because that wakes you up.
Yeah.
You know, and you're half asleep, so you want to get the snack in and go. It seems like you said you're a very light sleeper, so if you turn the lights on, you do the whole thing, you're cleaning up after yourself, that's an active process now. Now you're waking yourself up, and you could potentially be up all night.
10 seconds of closing arguments. You each get them, and then we'll turn this into a jury of your peers. They will vote and determine who's right, who's wrong. That's what it's all about in a relationship. Lily, you have 10 seconds first. You brought your husband to trial. Go ahead. Use it wisely.
Okay, I just want him to clean up after himself. I'll even leave out a towel, like a little cloth for him to clean, and the countertop cleaner.
And he doesn't use it.
Yeah, and he has to use it.
Right. All right.
Or we can get wipes, like
Brian,
wipes or
you've
whatever.
made a lot of great arguments today, but you have 10 more seconds to convince the jury of your peers as to why they should vote for you.
In my defense, I put water in the bowl before I leave it in the sink. So in the morning when it gets washed, it's not stuck to the bottom of the...
That's key.
Great
I'm
argument.
glad he used this 10 seconds to say that.
All right.
That's important.
Glad you added that. All right, jury, it's your turn now. We'll come right back. We'll decide who's right, who's wrong in this exciting edition of Petty Claims Court on KROQ.
Klein Alley Show.
Klein Alley Show.
106.7 FM. KROQ.
Late Night Snackers Unite is just one of the many texts that is pouring through right now here at KROQ. 800-520-1067. About to get to the verdict of this Petty Claims Court.
In the legal system, cases are tried from Supreme Courts to small claims court. But what about stuff that's too small for small claims court? This is Petty Claims Court.
Quickly to recap, Brian has been brought to trial from his wife. She says that she cleans the kitchen, last thing she does before bed. Then at some point during the night, around midnight or 1 a.m., Brian wakes up, goes to the kitchen, makes himself usually a bowl of cereal, Frosted Flakes. He did admit that he does crush the flakes up. He likes them crushed. And then she says in the morning, after this kitchen that she had just cleaned, she wakes up and there's a trail of crushed cereal, the bowl's in the sink. He doesn't clean up his mess. He claims that lights don't go on because he doesn't want to fully wake up and he's high. And he also said he would not admit that he's not guilty.
Yes, but I mean, there are a lot of people who are a big fan of Brian. 626. I vote Brian. I snack on Frosted Flakes as well. That's my go-to snack, so I can't be mad at him. 707. Brian wins with the water in the bowl, hands down.
Shows he at least put a little thought.
And he's not doing it maliciously. He's not doing it because he doesn't care. He's just doing it because he's high, which is completely different.
Yeah, when you're high eating cereal, it's kind of like no rules apply anymore.
I know. 714 said, who eats crumbs? Crumbs are the worst. I vote for Lily. So it seems that their food preferences are influencing their voting.
Yeah, like most people, when they get to that bottom of the bag and it's just that cereal dust, they're like, ugh, this sucks. But Brian loves that stuff.
Yeah.
Lives on it. Probably snorts lines of it, I bet.
760, I team Lily. Clean up after yourself, dude. She's not your mom.
Well over 100 votes poured through.
Many more.
But we did say the first 100 would determine who's right, who's wrong. You guys understand, Brian and Lily, the winner of Petty Claims Court ruling is final. You must abide by the decisions of this court and apply them to your life, right? Correct?
Okay, yes.
All right. Allie, you've added the
714,
votes.
it's Lily's fault for not pre-crushing his cereal.
It's interesting.
For him.
Interesting argument.
All right. There actually was a lot of support for Brian, surprisingly, even though Brian, I think, is clearly wrong in this scenario.
Whoa. You don't get to say that. Why do you think he's wrong?
He admitted he's wrong.
Okay.
He admitted that it's not ideal, but he's not doing it intentionally, and Brian is very lovable. However, after tabulating the votes, and there were many on the text line, Lily, you have won this edition of Petty Claims Court.
Come on.
However, I think we should consider 559's suggestion, which is if Brian cannot clean up after himself and he does like a late night snack, can we swap it out with something more portable and less messy?
Yeah, I saw a lot of suggestions about getting Brian a headlamp to wear at night.
Great idea.
Like one of those guys who's caving or whatever, and also the suggestion of get him a trough bag, like horses, where he can eat out of a trough, which will clean up his mess. Someone else pointed out that I have a 1-year-old now that wears a bib. The bib has a scooper that catches food as it falls off the face. Perhaps all that Brian needs is a snacking bib, which I think is a great business opportunity as well.
661, get a dust buster, because then he could just do a quick bust on the counter right afterwards.
So, listen, these are all suggestions here, but the best suggestion, I think, is the one that said Lily should be re-woken up in the middle of the night to clean again. Brian, you've lost this edition of Petty Claims Court, but it still feels like you're winning in life. And I think the ruling of the court is that you will get a secondary box. I believe it's the crushing that makes the biggest mess. So you will get a secondary box of cereal that will be a pre-crushed cereal, so you don't have to worry about doing the crushing in the middle of the night. And hopefully that will eliminate the mess.
Man, I think we're going to make it with this suggestion you guys did.
Good. I'm glad.
After 10 years. What do you write down on the divorce papers?
That would be great. All right, let us know in like a month if the relationship is better or worse as a result of being in Petty Claims Court, all right?
Oh, man, thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, good luck. They're doomed.
Oh, no, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, they're going to be fine. They're going to make it through this one.
Or Lily just has to get as stoned as Brian.
That's another. I saw that suggestion come through quite a bit, and those guys are not wrong because then she'll be snacking right with them. You know who doesn't care about a cereal mess? Another stone person. Take a quick break. Solving the world's problems and creating new ones. More show next.
Klein Alley Show.